Division in the evening of April 8, the 170th Infantry Division and the 11th Rifle Brigade, along with 70 light tanks PZKPFWI and PZKPFW2, were concentrated at the Danish-German border in Schleswig. These forces were commanded by Air Force General Leonard Koppisch. Additionally, the 10th Air Corps under the command of Lieutenant General Hans Ferdinand Geisler was to participate in the Danish operation, with a strength of 240 aircraft. Early in the morning on April 9, 1940, at 4:20 a.m., the German ambassador to Denmark, Rent Fink, delivered a memorandum to the Danish Minister of Foreign Affairs, Peter Munch, stating that due to England's intention to take control of bases in Denmark and Norway, the government of the Third Reich was forced to carry out a peaceful occupation of these countries. Furthermore, the memorandum included a statement that the Kingdom of Denmark was guaranteed territorial integrity and political independence from the Reich. The primary task of the German command was the destruction of the Danish kingdom's air forces, despite the fact that the 10th German Air Corps included 240 aircraft, while the main forces of the Danish Air Force consisted of only 51 aircraft. At 5 a.m., German Messerschmitts from Captain Wolfgang Fox-I/ZG-1 Group crossed the border of Denmark, which was immediately reported to the airfield at Verlos, where the main forces of the Danish Air Force were based. A combat alert was declared, but it was too late, as by the time the Danes were ready, the Germans had already struck the airfield. As a result, the main forces of the Danish Air Force were either severely damaged or simply destroyed. The Germans only had 2 damaged fighters. At 5:25 a.m., a report about the violation of the state border by the forces of the Third Reich was received by the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Denmark. Around 6 a.m., the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces of Denmark arrived at the Kastellet Citadel, hoping to organize resistance to the invasion, but neither he nor Chief of Staff Hertz, who suggested mobilizing the first wave reserves, had information about the situation at the front. At 5:15 a.m., Wehrmacht forces crossed the Danish border in Schleswig and began hostilities against the Kingdom of Denmark. German and Danish troops started fighting in the Lundtoftsjord area, where a platoon of the Danish armed forces, equipped with 20mm machine guns, took positions from which they controlled movement on the road and prevented the Germans from advancing. After a brief fight, the Danes retreated, losing 1 soldier killed and 1 wounded. The Germans had 2 armored vehicles and 2 motorcycles damaged and destroyed. A few miles east of Lundtoftsjord, near the town of Hakerup, a German column encountered a Danish checkpoint defended by 34 Danish soldiers. The Danes destroyed 3 German armored vehicles and forced the Germans to retreat. Soon, reinforcements arrived for the Germans, along with a 37mm gun. As a result, the Danish positions were surrounded, and they soon capitulated. In the battle, the Danes lost 2 soldiers killed. At the same time, 7 kilometers north of Lundtoftsjord, German forces encountered another Danish unit armed with 2 20mm guns defending a checkpoint near the village of Jurgskov. Initially, the Germans began their attack under the cover of a tank, but later aviation joined them. After losing 2 guns, the Danes attempted to escape on motorcycles, but the Germans surrounded them and captured them.